Hey, how are you? Terry Van over here, divorce strategist, helping you to navigate through divorce without being legally, financially, and emotionally devastated. But just as importantly, helping you to heal from a toxic relationship so that you can transition confidently into that next phase of your life. And tonight we're going to be answering your questions about healing abandonment. Now, one of our members had a question about Great question, Debbie, about she understands that she has the abandonment, knows about the abandonment, is very aware of it. But then what are some real steps that she can take to let go of it? Doesn't know what to do with the abandonment issues so I love and want to acknowledge you for understanding because most people don't even know that they have the abandonment issues. I didn't for a long time. I didn't really recognize how my abandonment issues were showing up in my marriage, the insecurity, the neediness. And it was only until I was sitting in my friend's basement at the time, crying myself. And the epiphany came to me of like, oh my God, I'm so lonely because I really don't love myself. And so that's one of the biggest signs. It's just a sense of loneliness. If you find that you're lonely in a relationship, lonely with people, lonely by yourself, you hate being by yourself, that is really significant in that you probably have underlying issues such as feeling unworthy or unlovable. And oftentimes that stems from childhood abandonment. And then we bring that childhood abandonment into our intimate relationship with our partner later on. So for me, it manifested as needing to be controlling, needing to get reassurance constantly, right? I was constantly asking, "Do you love me? Do you think I'm pretty? Are you going to leave me?" So that constant reassurance, if that's where you are, that's a signal that you're struggling with abandonment issues. And what happens is, developmentally speaking, it happens around 4 to 7 when we're in that comparative stage developmentally as a child and we start to understand, oh, I'm not like other people. And those things will show up later, depending on the severity of the traumas that you go through. And so the question is, like, what do you do if you have, this awareness? First, a lot of people don't understand really what these issues stem from. So perhaps if you're doing some of the things like I was saying, this nonstop need to control, this neediness, feeling insecure, needing constant reassurance, second guessing yourself, those are all signs of abandonment. Another sign, especially for women, is people pleasing. If you find that you're constantly needing to get the validation of others and you don't want to say no because you're afraid of not being liked, you might be struggling with some abandonment issues. So what do you do about it, right? So what are the steps that you can take? Well, the first step is acknowledging it like you did, Debbie. And then the second step would be to become aware. Awareness is a huge shift. For me, it was that awareness of like, oh my gosh, I'm constantly needing this reassurance because it showed up with my hubby now in the beginning. I was like, oh, okay, what is this little demon? And it's that little demon of being rejected by my alcoholic father when I was 4 years old, 3, 4 years old, whatever it was, right? So the second step is then becoming aware of those thoughts and shifting the filter of like, you know, that became like a non-negotiable. Like I'm not going to ask him constantly for reassurance because that's just feeding into the issue. So when that feeling came up for me of like needing the reassurance or feeling like I'm not lovable, I became aware of what was going on around me. What's going on around me where I'm not feeling loved? And for me, it was triggered oftentimes by other issues going on in my life, such as insecurity or stress, or maybe rejection by a friend or something, or feeling judged by someone. Oftentimes that would kick into that, like, oh, see that I'm not lovable because someone judged me on Facebook or whatever it was at the time. And so just becoming aware and starting to look at, like, when am I doing this? When is this triggered the most? And journaling is a really great step in helping you to look at those feelings, to process your feelings. There was a recent study done that people who journal as they're going through a process of healing, feel twice as good, twice as fast as those that don't journal. So it is a really great way to look at, putting down what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and processing that. So if you don't have some kind of journaling practice, that would be a really great step. What I teach my clients to do, those that struggle with abandonment issues, is to look at how they're showing up in their current relationships, because there's no doubt that if you're struggling with abandonment, you're projecting that onto your partner, and it's probably negatively impacting your relationship or your marriage. And so, what I teach my clients to do is to reparent themselves. So we get to the root, the heart of, was it mom, was it dad? Like, where's the emotional abandonment? Where's the physical? For me, it was physical and emotional abandonment by my alcoholic father. Because he would say, on the few handful times that I saw him in my life, like, they were negative, talking about my looks. It's like, no wonder I feel, it's like, gee, I wonder why you have like issues with the way you look, feeling judged about the way you look. It's like, no wonder. So what few instances I had by a father who physically abandoned us, but I would say even emotionally was not nurturing or giving or caring or loving, right? But critical. And so I teach my clients how to reparent themselves, and we get to the root of that, get to the root of when you first felt this, and give them the tools to dive deep and go through that and experience what it is that caused that, and give them the tool for then letting that go. So it's actually kind of a combination of like reparenting, but going inside to figure out what it is that that inner child needs in order to be reparented. So if you want to, learn more about my process of reparenting and heal the abandonment issues once and for all, I'd love to hop on a call with you, and I bet we could real quickly figure out and identify the root of it, and then, give you some strategies for then healing that going forward, because I'm really passionate about helping people who go through divorce not just navigate the process, but heal from the issues. Because here's the thing, y'all, that's like what I'm really, really passionate about is that once you've had one divorce, the chance of you having another divorce, if you have children, is now almost 70%. I mean, that is a mind blowing statistic to me. I mean, would you get on a plane if you knew, hey, there's a 70% chance that this plane would crash? Probably not. And yet we jump into a marriage with that statistic, So it's really important that you understand your issues and how they may have contributed to the divorce, and heal that so that you can go into your next marriage with a fresh start, and with everything to help you get through this. Because if you thought the first marriage was rough, when you're a blended family, and you've got exes and stepkids and your ex's baggage and so and so's baggage, your husband's baggage, like, it just ends up being even more stressors. So it's really important you bring the best version of yourself into your relationship. And so that's what I can do. I can show you the root of your abandonment issues and give you the skills and strategies that you need to reparent yourself, and give you the tool that you need so that you can go forward and let that abandonment go once and for all, so that hey, deep within me, I'm lovable, I'm worthy, I feel secure. I don't need anyone else to make me feel secure. So if that's you, feel free to send me a message, and we'll set up some time to talk. I have some sessions available next week for you, so I would love to chat. So all right. So I will talk to you guys next week, and have a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.